coming to you from beautiful downtown Silver Spring, the former home of the Discovery Channel until, well, they said the hell with this and we're going elsewhere. Today, since we're using Marco's whiteboard and Ray's whiteboard, I wanted to go over dealer fees, the legitimate dealer fees that you can expect to pay when you buy a car. I listed three of them here. State and local taxes. They are just that, state and local taxes, and they need to be paid. And those are legitimate fees. The dealership can't mark those up. The state's going to get what the state's supposed to get. The county's going to get what the county's supposed to get. If it's a state like, I'm not sure, I believe North Carolina might have a property tax on vehicles sometimes. They're going to charge you that. I believe Virginia has a property tax on vehicles as well. So those are legitimate fees that you're going to be asked to pay. Title, tags, and registration fees. Those fees, and you can go onto the state motor vehicle website to determine exactly what the title fee would be, what the tag fee would be, and what the registration fee would be, so that you can make sure that the dealer is not marking them up. You know, according to my son, these fees are programmed into our out-the-door fee calculator on Your Auto Advocate. So go to yourautoadvocate.com, www.yourautoadvocate.com, and you can utilize our out-the-door price feature, which will give you the approximate out-the-door price you should expect based on whatever selling price you plug in. So those fees are legitimate fees. You just need to make sure that the dealer isn't marking them up. The dock fee, every dealership charges. It is not necessarily a legitimate fee. It is a profit center for most dealerships. In many cases, you can get the dealer to discount the selling price of the car by an equal amount of whatever that dock fee is, so that in essence you're not paying for it, but it will always show up on the buyer's order. Because, well, they want to be able to claim that they've charged everybody for it. Dock fees can range anywhere from $50 to $1,500. In some states they're capped, in other states they're not. From so many of our viewers, dealers in Florida are just, well, crazy with their dock fees. Most run somewhere in the $900 range or more. So dock fee is a fee that every dealer charges. It's also a fee that, since it's taxable, it's negotiable. So you can try and negotiate that exact amount out of the selling price, or some portion of that dock fee out of the selling price to help mitigate the dock fee. So those are three of the fees that you should normally expect to pay anytime you buy a car. So now we're back with, well, what I would call the illegitimate fees that you could expect some dealers to try and charge for. The big one, especially on pre-owned cars, reconditioning fee. Well, guess what? The dealership knows how much their reconditioning cost was on their trade-ins and pre-owned cars that they've purchased at the auction, because they had to recondition them before they put them out on the lot. And those fees should already be built into the asking price of the vehicle. So if a dealership has an asking price of the vehicle and then an add-on for the reconditioning fee on top of that, that's the type of dealership, well, I don't know, I would have to walk away from. They're not doing things in a legitimate fashion. That is that would be like going to your grocery store and they tell you that bananas are $1.19 a pound, okay? Except on Tuesdays, and Tuesdays we're going to add an extra 30 cents per pound because, well, it's Tuesday. It doesn't work like that. The price, the asking price is the asking price, and the reconditioning fee should be built into it. Oftentimes you'll see dealers on their new cars try and charge for a regional advertising fee. The regional advertising fee the dealership pays for. It is charged to the car on the invoice, and the dealer pays for that. And the dealer should not be trying to collect that money back from the consumer. It's a fee that the dealership has agreed to pay per car to have regionalized advertising for all the dealers in the area, the light dealers in the area. And that's just the cost of doing business. And the customer should never be asked to pay for an additional regional advertising fee. That's a dealership's responsibility. It's not the customer's responsibility. Dealer add-ons, nitrogen tire fill, wheel lip moldings, door edge guards, 3M protection. I don't know. We've seen so many different names for them. Desert protection package in the Southwest. Which is they're just things that they charge for, that they mark up dramatically. There was an email I got from a customer the other day, and there was a $1,995 protection package put on every one of the used cars at this dealership that included dent and ding for a year and paint sealant, and I don't know. It was just all kinds of stuff that if you added it all together, it maybe cost the dealership I don't know, $300-400, and they're telling the customer they got to pay $19.95 for it because they do it to all their cars. I'm so thrilled that they do it to all their cars. I got a great idea for you, Mr. Dealer. Why don't I pay you the cost of that stuff, not the inflated cost? The cost of the stuff. Don't tell me that you paid internally $1,500 for this $400 worth of stuff that I didn't ask for, that you decided to add on to the price after the fact, after you brought me in on your advertised price. So dealer add-ons or protection packages, and that could include things like extended service contracts and low jack and God knows what else. Those are things that if you didn't ask for, you can negotiate or should be able to negotiate off of the car. If they won't negotiate those items off of the car for you, then go find a dealership that will. And additional transportation fees. I can't tell you how many dealers who go and buy cars at the auction and they know what it's going to cost to bring those cars back to the dealership, and it's already factored into the cost of the car, which means it should already be factored into the asking price of the car, then turn around and try and get the customer to pay for the additional transportation fee to get the car to the dealership. That's a dealership expense. It's not a customer expense. The only time it could possibly be a customer expense is if you're looking at a particular new car and the dealership doesn't have it, and it's available for a dealer trade. The dealer can get it for you from another like dealer, and that dealer might be 3 or 4 states over, and it needs to be transported by truck to the dealership. The dealership can find out what that expense will be, and if you want that car, they can ask you to pay that expense because it's not a normal expense at that point. That's not an expense for the dealership to handle. That would be an expense for you as the customer to handle because you have to have that specific car. If you could just find a car on a dealer's lot, then you wouldn't have to pay that. But that's the only time you should ever be asked to pay for additional transportation charges to get a car that you might have wanted that had to be dealer traded into the dealership. Otherwise, additional transportation fees are a dealer's expense, not a customer's expense. Those are 4 of the big fees that dealers try to charge that really aren't legitimate fees that you should be able to work with the dealer to either get them to remove them or to reduce them. And if a dealer won't, as I like to say, go find a dealer who will. You can get a lot of this information at our website, www.yourautoadvocate.com. You can take advantage of our out-the-door pricing tool. You can take advantage of our market price reports. You can take advantage of all the guides that we have on our website, and all that is free. And as I like to say, if it is for free, it is for thee. So take advantage of it. We do it for you.